So in this video, I'll be talking about the new Middle-earth game, Shadow of War. And I keep getting the names Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor confused. Shadow of Mordor is the first game. Shadow of War is a mobile game and also the name of that new Middle-earth game coming out in October. So I watched the videos during E3, and the game looked pretty neat. I like the animations are nice and smooth, which is the first game they were all smooth. They weren't jerky or anything. They've got the Nemesis system back, of course. And they actually give a reason for the Nemesis system to exist. Because now you can use the orcs you dominate to take over fortresses. So in the first game, if you dominated orcs, there really wasn't anything you could do with them. You could send them to attack other orcs, but you could just dominate those orcs instead. If you're looking for runes, you would want to kill the orcs, of course, but you could just dominate them instead. And I was kind of disappointed when I found out that when you dominate all the orcs, nothing happens, nothing interesting happens. And in fact, the game doesn't seem to realize it happened. Because at the very end of the game, you have this big old war going on, this big battle, and you bring a whole bunch of your war chiefs with you. And you might think, oh, I've got all of these orcs under my control, so they'll all come with me, but they don't. It's just I think the 5 or 4 war chiefs, I can't remember exactly how many, just those top ones. And the interesting thing is, if you dominate every single orc and both of the maps, you'll still get an orc captain during that last mission. Apparently he can be anybody. Apparently some people have had Ratbag appear out of nowhere and attack you. I never had that happen, unfortunately. Ratbag is an orc that helps you during the story. And then the final boss, or the final battle of Shadow of Mordor was really dumb. Because it's just hitting a boss guy a couple of times. And actually, no, there was a QTE. And the final boss battle was a QTE. It was dumb. It was a stealth battle first and then a QTE. So that was pretty dumb. And then dumps you back out. There was DLC where you play as a dwarf, I think. No, you don't play as a dwarf. You play as Talion again, with the help of a dwarf. And you can also play as Clemador, or however you pronounce his name, way back when. Both modes are essentially the same as the main game. I really don't know why that kind of stuff existed. They used the same map, and you did the exact same things, except as different character. Well, not even with the Beastmaster one. You're Italian in that, and I'm not exactly sure what the point of that was. So in Shadow of War, you'll be able to bring your orcs captains to attack fortresses. But in the videos, it looked like you don't really need that. And like Talion was having a really easy time taking out orcs. And when the ones were being played by a person from Monolith, it looked like they were purposely screwing up. There was one move where you stun an orc and then you can just tap attack and it'll raise your combo meter. So maybe they took that out of the second game. But in the video they would start doing the attack on the stunned orc and then they would just stop for no reason. I don't know why. Or they would purposely attack an orc that's on the ground when there's some giant dude right next to them that they know is going to attack them. And then they don't even try to avoid it. So I think they might have been purposely playing the game poorly to make it look more difficult. There is going to be a hard mode to make the game more difficult, but they didn't say what that will actually do. Hopefully it'll make the orcs react to how you play the game. Because in the first game, I was able to just leap over the orcs, that's a move in the game, and stun them, and just keep doing that over and over again. And every 7 times you hit something or hit your combo meter up to 7, then you can do an execution move. And you can buy skills to do different things. Like you can do the execution move, or you can get a combat brand to make the orc fight for you, which is what I would do the whole time. I would hit something 7 times. There's also a skill that brings that combo requirement down to 5. And then I would combat brand an orc, and I would just go right back to that orc that I stunned. Hit him a few more times, combat brand another orc, keep doing that over and over until all the orcs are branded. And then I would make their heads explode. So that was pretty cool. It also made it very easy. So like it'd be neat if the hard mode and the new game makes those orcs react to you. That if you like to jump over them a whole lot, then maybe more and more orcs will have something to keep you from doing that. Or if you like to use your bow and arrow a whole lot, maybe they'll have some way to stop you from hitting them with your bow and arrow a whole lot. And it shouldn't be a permanent thing. It should just be a thing where you have to try something different for a little while, and then you can do it again. Because if they don't, I just don't see how the fortresses can be that difficult, except for even for the final battle, because the Overlord has orc friends in there with him. So if you have a combat brand, you could just combat brand all of his orc friends. And there's really nothing he can do about it. I mean, you can just wait until everybody with the Overlord is dead, or until the Overlord is dead. There's a dragon in the game. A whole bunch of them you can ride. It does not look very interesting, though. But I guess it can't be, because because the game world was clearly not made for a flying dragon, but they just decided to put it in anyway. So they had to make it really slow and make it fly really low. And when you attack, it kind of just stops in place, or it hovers in place. Well, I guess they really wanted to let you fly around on a dragon. I'll have to see if the fortress stuff is neat. I think that might be really, really easy. Because one thing you can do is you're supposed to be fighting against the war chiefs that are in the fortress, but you can go and take them out first, either bring them to your side or just kill them, and then they'll be gone for the fortress battle. If you get rid of all of them, there won't be any captains in the fortress. Apparently, though, sometimes other captains can show up, which happened in the first game. Like, captains could just randomly appear and attack you. But those fortress stuff might be super easy, even if you don't do any preparation. Guess we'll see. At the first game, once you figure out the combat, it's really easy to play it. I remember the first time I played it, I'm like, oh, this is so difficult. Well, and I tried it again a little later, like, oh, this is so easy. Because I just realized that all I have to do is just jump over things. Or leap over the orcs. There's nothing they can do. And early on, you get that Wraith stun skill, which stuns the orc, and then you can just get your combo meter up on them really fast. And so there's missions in the first one, like where you have to get 50 combo meter, or 50 combo meter, yeah. And that wasn't a problem. I just have a feeling, though, that, again, even though they give the Nemesis system actually a reason to exist, that you're not actually going to need to use it. It's going to be too easy, even without them. Or even with them. Without them or with them, it's going to be way too easy. I guess with them it'll be even easier. we'll have to see. So another thing they did, which is weird, so they broke the game up into a whole bunch of different regions. The first game had 2 separate regions. This time they did it again, but now it's like 6 or 7 different regions. And each region has its own nemesis tree. And so you got to go through and brand them all over again, which can be kind of boring. They have to just constantly brand the captains. You get in there and say, oh, gotta brand them all. I guess you don't have to, since it's so easy, even if you don't brand them. I guess I'll be playing that game when it comes out in October. I don't think there's anything else coming out between now and then that I know of. Apparently everybody decided they're going to release their game in October. Like there's a million of them all coming out in October for some reason. 3 of them are coming out on October 27th. Wolfenstein 2, Destiny, and something else. Assassin's Creed Origins, I think. I guess next time I'll talk about Assassin's Creed Origins. It looked really boring. You have a drone, and they call it an eagle. Somehow it's able to hover, and then just tells you where everything is. That's in all the Ubisoft games now, and it makes the game super easy. Like they should just not put it in there because it serves no purpose. But I'll talk about that later. I'm gonna go pet my cats now.